put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Morning viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. It's 7:36 a.m. Tobago Updates Morning Show coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. At this point, viewers, we're heading on into our discussions. It's World Environment Day 2023. And in fact, if you pay attention to the calendar, there's almost a celebration of something each and every day, but significant to us today is World Environment Day 2023. And to join us here in the conversation is Director for the Department of the Environment, Linford Beckles. Good morning to you and welcome, sir.
Yes, good morning, Julien, and good morning, Tobago.
All right, so we get straight on into it. I want you to start, from the broader and the global perspective, telling us about the significance of World Environment Day 2023. That broader context, but more specifically now where we see there are a number of environmental issues being raised across the globe, and how do we respond to them, as individuals in our society?
Okay, well, thank you for the opportunity. World Environment Day is celebrated on June 5th of every year. And it's really an initiative to bring attention to environmental issues of global significance. And we have been doing that for a very long time. In 2023, this year, the focus is really on finding solutions to plastic pollution. As a matter of fact, the theme is Beat Plastic Pollution. And we have been having a significant challenge with plastics all over the world and so on. Microplastics in particular. They are quite pervasive in the environment, and of course it doesn't look good. Apart from that, plastics normally gets into the oceans and so on. And the microplastics, many of the marine organisms, they sometimes ingest them, and it creates significant problems and stuff in terms of the ecology, but also in terms of the food chain. And ultimately, it has potentially negative impacts on human health. So we are basically joining the global community in calling attention to this particular issue, and working together with all stakeholders to find solutions to some of these issues.
All right, so tell us specifically some of the efforts that will be happening here in Tobago today or this week in celebration of World Environment Day.
Okay, well, today, in particular, we would be hosting some of the primary school children, particularly those who are Standard 5 students. And of course, the Standard 5 students are a little free now that the CE exam is done, so it's a little easier to kind of work with them and stuff. So those Standard 5 students who are based in the eastern part of Tobago, they will be visiting the Roxborough Police Youth Club Upcycling and Learning Resource Center, where they will have the experience of, seeing the plastic recycling process at work. And they would also have the opportunity to get directly involved and, make some usable products from recycled plastics. We're not leaving out those in the western part of Tobago. Those in the western part of Tobago would be visiting the Tobago Resource Recycling Initiative, which is based in Shore Park, and those students are going to have a similar kind of experience there. So we're really providing the opportunity for the students to learn more about it, but also to get directly involved and stuff. And of course, when you are directly involved in something, you get a much deeper appreciation for the process, for the value of the process and stuff, and the importance of the process in the context of sustainable development.
I'm happy you mentioned the importance of the process, and in fact, looking at that start that is focusing on our primary school age students. How do you get this to transition into those young adults, those adults in society, recognizing that it cannot just be up to the environment department, those who deal with our waste and so on, and one or two of the recycling initiatives. It has to be a collective effort, something we've heard Sean Roberts talk about time and time again. How do we get to that point, and what do you see as the responsibility from the governmental agency's perspective as the Department of Environment?
Well, the conventional wisdom suggests that we should really work through the kids and stuff, right? Which is one of the things that we're doing, because in many instances where we sometimes fail to have significant lasting impacts on adults, kids normally succeed. and so on. If you have a kid and stuff, and the kid is always saying to you, this is wrong and stuff, or this is the right behavior and stuff, you are much more likely to sort of
guilty.
Yes, you feel a bit guilty and stuff, so you're much more likely to listen. But above and beyond that and stuff, certainly from the perspective of the state agency and many other important environmental stakeholders, we have a responsibility to be consistently engaged with all members of the public, including adults and so on. And I think that, as you suggested a while ago, consistency is really the key, because when it really comes to issues related to recycling and other environmental issues, it's really about changing people's attitudes and perception, and that is not really a very, very easy thing to do. To give yourself the best chance of achieving that, you really need to be consistent in terms of the engagement of the public and so on. And that is not always very, very easy, because sometimes it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of finance and so on. And of course, these days and stuff, public financing is not always as available as it used to be. So we basically have to, make the best use of all of the limited resources that we have, and try our best to be as consistent as possible, involve all stakeholders and stuff to basically get the outcome that we're really looking for.
As we close this morning, remind our viewers contact information for those wishing to connect with your department there in terms of any sort of outreach efforts.
Right. So if you wish to engage with us at the Environment Department and stuff, you can always call 735-4350 on any particular issue. If you require any support in terms of environmental education, that's the number to call as well.
All right, excellent. So that persons don't feel the department only activates. I've done work with them, with other organizations, and you can reach out, connect with the department in terms of working along with you. Even as NGOs here, we've all got a role to play in this process here in Tobago. It's World Environment Day, and we want to say thank you, Linford Beckles, Director for the Department of the Environment, for joining us here on set at the Tobago Updates morning show this morning. Up next, folks, we have Rondell Moses, and he's the event coordinator, and we're speaking the second annual Car Meet and Fun Day. So we look forward to that information coming forward to us in the next interview. Viewers, we want to thank you so much, each and every one of you, for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates morning show and for continuing to connect with us. Those of you relaxed at home, taking us in on your TV, and those of you probably on the road, listening in on your radio and or your devices, we want to say that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.